Welcome to Retrospective.
Hello everyone, it is Retro here, once again bringing you all another retrospective on a classic video game. Today we're talking about the third and final entry of the original Sly Cooper PlayStation 2 trilogy. This was the follow-up to Sly 2 Band of Thieves, and at the time it really felt like the end of an era. Sly 3 took everything that made Sly 2 great, the team dynamic, the open world style hubs, and those elaborate heist missions, and then pushed it even further with new characters, new gadgets, and a story that was surprisingly emotional. This game was one of my favorites because I played it the most growing up, since I had the physical version on PS2 and never actually got to play the first and second one until the trilogy was re-released on PS3s and PS4s on the PS Store, and in its later years being available on PlayStation Now. Wow. Remember PlayStation Now? I know it hasn't been that long since it merged with PS Plus, but yeah, time really changes things. Remember PS Home on the PS3? That's not relevant, but it was just an intrusive thought. Anyway, let's get back to talking about Sly. Sly 3 also introduced 3D support back in the day with those classic blue and red glasses, though let's be honest, I'm not sure how many of us actually used them. I definitely had my pair for like the first week until I lost them, as most kids do. What mattered more was how it wrapped up the trilogy and gave closure to Sly's story, or at least, that's what we thought before Thieves in Time came along years later for the PS3. So just like last time, I'll be breaking down Sly 3 stage by stage, following the story from start to finish. This is a classic retrospective on Sly 3: Honor Among Thieves. So the game opens up with a bang. No title cards, no introductions, just Sly and Bentley already in the middle of a mission like nothing ever skipped a beat. We're nearing the Cooper Vault on a massive fortress located on an isolated island surrounded by storms and cliffs. This is the fabled vault that holds the accumulated wealth and knowledge of the entire Cooper clan over centuries. But right away, something's off. Bentley is in a wheelchair now, which is the aftermath of what happened in Sly 2, and the rest of the gang is nowhere to be seen. Instead, Sly's new crew, people we haven't actually met yet, are helping him break in. It's a great hook because it instantly makes you wonder, what happened? Where's the original team? After some platforming and setup, Sly finally makes it to the vault's door, only to be confronted by a new villain and main antagonist, Dr. M, a brilliant but unhinged scientist who guards the vault and wants its contents for himself. Things go south fast, where we then get flashbacks on how it all begun, thus beginning the game. It's one of these games that you are technically playing the missions through flashbacks leading up to the main events of the story, which was partially shown in the prologue. As per usual, there are these amazing 2D cutscenes at beginning and ending of worlds, where I will now let the first one of many play out.
It was like they always say, your life really does flash before your eyes. There it all was, stretching back to my childhood. Born into a family of master thieves that went back for generations, I was next in line to continue the Cooper name. But fate had different plans. I was robbed of my childhood when a ruthless gang attacked our home. The orphanage I landed in wasn't all bad. It was there that I met my lifelong friends. Bentley, he's always been the thinker. And Murray, he's the doer. We'd stuck together over the years, and our skill, our confidence, and our thieving reputation grew stronger with each heist. We thought that the good times would never end, and that our luck would never run out, which only made things tougher when the odds finally caught up with us. Then I met this guy, McSweeney, who claimed to have run with my father's crew back in their heyday. They pulled jobs all over the world and amassed quite a collection of priceless items. It was then that McSweeney told me all about the Cooper Vault. It seemed that my father, like all my ancestors, had been hiding their wealth in a secret place for generations, each one adding to the treasure hidden behind a door that, if McSweeney's story is true, only a Cooper can open. Using some well-placed clues provided by McSweeney, we set out for the secret island that held the vault. On arriving, we discovered someone by the name of Dr. M had already set up shop. From the looks of it, he'd been trying to crack the thing for years, growing steadily more frustrated in his failures and more paranoid as the decades rolled by. He built himself a fortress with security as tight as Fort Knox. Getting inside the place would take precision, creativity, and moreover, it would take an army of world-class thieves. Finding and bringing together that much talent won't be easy, but to get inside the Cooper Vault and collect my inheritance, I was willing to pay the price.
We rewind some time to before the vault job, where Bentley has been recovering since the events of Sly 2, and Sly's been investigating some rumors about the Cooper Vault.
Getting inside a world-class vault would take a team of world-class thieves, a group of specialists, each member contributing their own particular talent. It was clear that we needed Murray back. Not only was I missing a lifelong friend, but his brute strength helped get us out of more than a few scrapes in the past. When Bentley was injured during the whole Clockwork affair, Murray blamed himself, eventually leaving the team. We tried to console him, but going out on his own was something he needed to do. He said he wanted to find his spiritual center. We got word that Murray ended up in the Australian outback, where he studied a mystic art called the Dreamtime from an Aboriginal guru. From all accounts, things went pretty well, and his teacher even sent him on a walkabout to locations all over the globe to complete the training. Latest reports have cited Murray in beautiful Venice, Italy, but what he's doing there is a mystery. I just hope he steers clear of the local mob boss, Octavio. Growing up, this guy used to be a real celebrity in the neighborhood. Everyone loved to hear him sing opera and said he was destined to be the next great tenor. But just as his career started to take off, musical tastes changed. Suddenly, it was all about rock music, and no one wanted to listen to opera anymore. He held on to a few fans, and it was these mobsters that took him into the business. Heading onto this guy's turf was dangerous, but worth it for a chance to make things right with Murray.
The first episode takes us to Venice, Italy, a bright and colorful location full of canals, bridges, and opera houses. It's here where we meet our first new villain, Octavio, an opera singer turned mob boss. Murray has also been spotted here in Venice months after leaving the group. The first thing we do is try to find leads in the police headquarters that would lead to Murray's location. We also come across a returning character in Dimitri right from the start who, believe it or not, will be integral to the plot later on. And we also get Carmelita Fox's first appearance in the game, where as per usual, we have to platform and escape her shock pistol. We actually come across Murray during this confrontation, and he helps us escape Carmelita for the time being. Murray tells Sly why he is in Venice at the moment, and he catches up with an old friend. This then leads to one of Bentley's slideshows explaining the first phase of this world's objective.
Murray refuses to join the gang until the commitment to his guru has been fulfilled. Whether we like it or not, we've got to deal with Venice's tar problems in order to, as Murray puts it, make the black water run pure. Thanks to Inspector Fox's fine detective work, we already know that Don Octavio is somehow connected. As non-law operatives, we'll be able to tackle the situation in a more head-on fashion. First, we break into Octavio's opera house. If he's hiding anything, we'll find it. We should also keep a close eye on the dog. Some photographic evidence of him connected to the tar might be enough to get the old mobster put away. Of course, meanwhile, I'll monitor local communication frequencies. With some luck, we might pick up some quality intel.
The basis of each world, from what I can remember, is finding a specific recruit needed for the Cooper family vault job while also dealing with mini-bosses and or problems and obstacles that pertain to each world. In this first world, we come to find out that Octavio has been polluting the city's water supply and using his musical performances as a front for his criminal activities. This level serves as both a reintroduction and tutorial teaching players new mechanics, reminding us of stealth, pickpocketing, and clue bottle hunts, but also introducing a few new gadgets and movement options while also gaining information on Octavio and anything that will help the cause. Bentley proceeds to tell us the next phase.
So, according to these decrypted files, Octavio is pumping tar from underneath the foundations of buildings so he can sink them into the canals on a whim. He's going to demonstrate this destructive ability to the people of Venice during his opera recital on the first day of Carnival. To counter this threat, we'll first destroy the balloons inside, advertising the recital. If no one shows up, he'll have no reason to sink a building. Next, the blueprints to the main tar vacuum have been cleverly split into 3 parts and hidden in local coffee houses owned by Octavio. Unfortunately, they're under constant guard, so you'll need to use a disguise to get us inside. Also, some big Vincinetti goons have been called in as insurance for the recital. Given their size, I think it's prudent to fool Carmelita's 8 mercenaries into taking them out for us. And finally, we'll have to convince Murray into taking to the field. If he's learned the Aboriginal ball form, it'll be just the thing for destroying the local tar reservoirs.
The missions here feel classic. Sly sneaking through opera houses, sabotaging machinery, going undercover as one of the patrols. Bentley does what he does best, hacking computers, gaining information, and finding us any technical advantage that we can get. We also get to do a mission plugging up the tar pollution as Murray because Bentley convinces Murray that the mission will be peaceful with no signs of violence. Also, the fact that we needed a move Murray learned in order to complete this mission. We get to play as Carmelita once as well, and at least for that mission, it helped our cause since she doesn't discriminate which bad guys are which. Bentley then tells us the final phase of the operation.
With Octavio's comeback opera recital just a few hours away, we're all set up for the main event. Get ready for Operation Tar Be Gone. Our objective, get Murray back on the team. Sly, you'll start things off by using your disguise to sneak into the opera house. Make your way down to the pump room and let me in through the side entrance. Thanks to the blueprints we stole, I now know just where to bomb to cripple the machinery. Then we'll go for Octavio's detonation switch. I'm sure you'd agree that we just can't leave a weapon that powerful in the hands of such a madman. So I'll distract the old mobster with an opera duel. He's sure not to attack while we're both on stage. Meanwhile, you'll cut the lines to the chandelier and drop it on his head. I'll swipe the switch, and we'll both find Murray. By then, the black water is sure to be running clear, and he'll be free to come with us.
We sneak into Octavio's main tar operation where Bentley blows the tar pipes up. We almost had Octavio pinned down after Bentley set up Octavio with an opera duet, but Carmelita foiled the plan by barging in and messing it all up. This leads to us chaving Octavio on boats and having to shoot at his boat, which then leads him to the final arena. The final battle with Octavio involves dodging attacks in a flooded tar arena to knock him down, playing as Murray. We head to different arenas when the tar runs dry though, and it's a great mix of old school boss design and new spectacle. We then defeat Octavio, and by the end of Venice, the trio, Sly, Bentley, and Murray, are officially reunited. And with Octavio taken down, the search for more crew members begins.
With the fight over, we went back and scraped Bentley off the pavement. It was touch and go for a while there, but we managed to sneak out right under Carmelita's nose. Octavio wasn't so lucky. The guy got 30 years behind bars for what he did to Venice. I guess Italians don't like it when you sink their landmarks. Ironically, he found success as a singer while in jail. After all, most of his old fan base was already in the clink. But the big score here was bringing our old pal back into the gang. Once he put on those gloves and that mask, it was clear to everyone, most of all him, that the Murray had returned.
So the next stop is Australia. The gang travels down under to recruit a new ally, the Guru, Murray's old spiritual leader.
At first, it seemed just like old times. The gang was back in action. But little by little, we learned that Murray's heart just wasn't in it. Without the Guru's permission to give up on his Dreamtime training, he'd never really feel comfortable returning to the gang. We knew we needed to help him out. So, we packed up our things, whipped up some quick disguises, and headed for the Australian outback. Along the way, Murray told us story after story about his teacher's amazing abilities. Apparently, this guru of his was capable of fantastic feats. He used the Dreamtime to blend perfectly into his surroundings, and even gain mental control over the weak-minded. If even half the stories were true, then this was a guy I just had to meet. Our gang needed to grow its ranks for a chance to get inside the Cooper Vault. And this guru, this outback mystic, was looking like the best recruit we could have ever asked for. However, when we finally arrived in the outback, it was a shock to find that things had changed. And the guru was nowhere to be seen.
Murray wants approval to rejoin from his guru in order to continue where they left off, now that he is enlightened and whatnot. Australia's outback isn't the same as when Murray left. It seems someone has come and tried to industrialize and set up shady mining operations while desecrating sacred lands. The guru has a unique ability. Each new ally has a specialty that will help us towards breaking into the Cooper Vault. The setting here feels very different from the urban Venice level. It's dusty, full of caves, mines, and wide open areas. The guru seems to be in hiding due to the massive change in scenery and increase in mining personnel, where we then have to find him. And when we do find him, he won't leave without his gear, where we now have to track those down in order to have him accompany us.
The guru won't leave the stockade until he has his walking staff and his moonstone. He also insists that we purify Ayers Rock of all miners. Only then will the Dreamtime spirits be appeased, and the guru will be free to use his powers. Sly must have impressed him in their conversation, because now he is requesting that Murray and I meet with him individually. Something about judging our spiritual centers. I've discovered a passage through one of the miners' caves that should make getting up to the guru less difficult. He also mentioned that the miners had foolishly unearthed the Mask of Dark Earth. I guess it was his job to guard the thing, and now that it's out, bad things are sure to follow. Sounds like mumbo-jumbo to me, but we've encountered some unexplainable phenomena over the years, so I'm not gonna rule it out as a threat to our operation.
The obstacle in our way in this stage is actually a spiritual relic which the guru was entrusted with protecting, called the Mask of Dark Earth. Now that it has been unearthed, it will only lead to bad things. Playing as Sly and Murray in different missions, we infiltrate the caves in order to get the pieces of gear the guru needs. As we do this, we keep coming across stronger foes who have been possessed by the mask. These are like mini-bosses as the mask hop from foe to foe throughout the entire stage. The guru agrees to join the team and he brings his unique possession ability and transforming ability, allowing him to control enemies and animals and turning into environmental objects, a skill that adds a new layer of strategy to the gang's future heists. There's one mission I remember vividly, which is the one where we have to run over blue scorpions in a big truck so its wheels don't overheat, and flip the truck in order to catch the red color scorpions in order to sabotage the mining rigs. There's nothing special about it, but it's random memories like that always seem to stick with you.
The Guru has agreed to join our team, provided we can rid his homeland of the dingo miners and deal with the Mask of Dark Earth. A tall order, but we're up for it. First, we'll enlist the aid of some local wildlife to help thin out the miners' ranks. Murray will feed our foes to a local giant crocodile. With some luck, he'll take a liking to the taste of miners and chow down on them left and right. Second, we'll hit these guys where they live, or at least relax. If we can clear them out of this lemonade bar, it'll be a crippling blow to their morale. They'll be begging to go home. And finally, Sly will use some mining equipment to drill for radioactive oil deep beneath the dried lake bed. Trust me, it's the key to getting rid of the Mask of Dark Earth.
One of the standout moments here is when we finally get to play as the Guru, possessing guards, turning them against each other, or using animals to solve puzzles. He's quite the character, actually. We also do some more missions as Sly and Murray in order to go against the Mask of Dark Earth and take down the miners, even getting into an old-fashioned lemonade bar drink-off and then a bar fight against the next miner that was possessed by the mask. We then learn the final phase of the operation.
You can feel it in the air. The miners are about to pack it in. In fact, they'd probably already be long gone if it weren't for the corrupting influence of the Mask of Dark Earth. It's clear we need to destroy it. Time for Operation Moon Crash. To start things off, we'll need the Guru to take out the gyrocopter. With it gone, we'll have clear skies for Phase 2. Now, according to Aboriginal folklore, the Mask of Dark Earth is the sworn enemy of the moon spirit. So, given Murray's moon shape, we'll coat him in the glowing oil and have him pose as the spirit. We'll then dangle him from the crane. The mask is sure to spot his ancient foe and come running. That's when we'll strike. Murray, thunderplop off the crane and obliterate that mask. With the mask destroyed and the miners run off, the Guru will be free to join the team for the Cooper Vault job.
After catching up to the mask and dropping Murray off a crane onto the mask then runs off and jumps directly onto Carmelita's face as she appeared out of nowhere. She loves appearing out of nowhere. It becomes a multi-stage boss battle as Carmelita gets larger and larger in size. As Sly, we literally have to climb up a giant Carmelita and remove the mask off her face by force by undoing the hinges. After shutting down the mining operations and rescuing the Guru, he officially joins the team, and the crew is now 4 members strong.
Carmelita just lay there, unconscious, helpless on the desert floor. Being gentlemen, we kept watch over her throughout the night. Her camera proved to be a real source of entertainment as we took turns posing. Didn't want her to go home empty-handed. Morning broke, and we got a clear view of the landscape. It was beautiful, empty of the miners that had been digging and drilling into the sacred place. The moment was broken as Carmelita began to stir, and we prepared for another quick exit. Only this time, it wasn't just the 3 of us. For the first time in Cooper Gang history, we picked up a new member, and the team would never be the same.
So the next stop is Holland. The Cooper Gang travels to the Netherlands for a completely different kind of mission, one that takes to the skies.
Bentley was obsessed. Every night he'd pore over the blueprints to Dr. M's fortress, looking for a way to get into the Cooper Vault. He soon came to the conclusion that there was no way inside unless the gang picked up a dedicated RC specialist. An expert who had mechanical and piloting skills far exceeding his own. After weeks of searching techie chat rooms, he finally found someone who could keep up with him intellectually. A gearhead genius out of Holland named Penelope. She politely declined our invitation to join the team, saying she only works for the best. Apparently, her idea of the best was her boss, the Black Baron, a big-time dogfighting champ up there in Holland. He's so good that he's even set up an international competition called Aces to attract worthy opponents. A few days later, she sent us a counteroffer. If our gang could manage to beat the Black Baron at his own game, then she'd know we weren't just a pack of jokers, and therefore, worth her time. So, we got busy. With no time to lose, Bentley and Murray worked to put a plane together, while I got my pilot license the fastest way possible. We'd proved to this Penelope that the Cooper gang was up for the challenge, even if we were making it all up as we went along.
Word spreads of a high-profile aerial dogfighting tournament being hosted by a self-proclaimed boss man known as the Baron. The gang plans to enter the tournament in disguise, hoping to undercover what the Baron's really up to. But there's another reason Bentley's interested. A mysterious RC mechanic named Penelope who seems to be a perfect candidate to join them for the vault job. Penelope is a mechanical genius who works and upgrades on the biplanes from a hidden workshop. She is incredibly skilled, and as soon as Bentley sees her work, he's hooked, both intellectually and emotionally. She represents everything Bentley admires: intelligence, precision, and creativity. But there's one big problem. She's loyal to the Baron.
Okay, fellas. According to the Aces flight lineup, we'll be flying against Team Iceland and Team Belgium in tomorrow's semi-final round. As you're all aware, we've only got a single plane, while our opponents will be flying 15 apiece. You got that, guys? That's 30-to-1 odds against us. In order to give us a fighting chance, we'll need to pit these two teams against each other. First, Murray and Sly will paddle through the sewers beneath town to get access to an air vent leading into Team Iceland's hotel room. Steal one of their trademark Viking helmets, then head over to Team Belgium's hangar, vandalize one of their aircraft, then plant the helmet in order to frame Team Iceland for the damage. Next, Murray and I will steal one of Team Belgium's monogrammed handkerchiefs. Meanwhile, the Guru will break into the Team Iceland supply truck carrying their lucky ice sculpture. Sly will steal the art and then place the handkerchief insinuating Team Belgium for the crime. Get it? We frame both teams so they'll be gunning for each other and not Sly in the semi-finals. All the while, I'll be setting up defenses around the Team Cooper air hangar. You never know when one of the other teams might come looking to do us some harm.
To set the stage, the team must sabotage rival competitors, steal flight rosters, and frame teams so that Sly's path through the tournament is less obstructed. But beneath the charm, there's tension in the air. The tone shifts from grounded stuff to mechanical chaos, marking one of the biggest gameplay changes in the series so far. Instead of sneaking through shadows the majority of the time, we're flying through the open skies in custom-built biplanes designed by Bentley himself. The dogfights are fast, frantic, and surprisingly cinematic, looping through the clouds, shooting down enemies, and weaving between windmills as the gang works their way up the ranks. We also begin to see Bentley's confidence grow between aerial battles and reconnaissance. He manages to contact Penelope directly. Bentley suspects there's more to it than meets the eyes, and after some digging, he's right. The Baron is secretly developing advanced prototype warplanes and using the competition as a cover.
Thanks to Sly's flying, we're officially in the Aces Finals. Our opponents, Team Mugshot and Team Black Baron. The rules in the finals are a bit different than normal. Whoever takes out the defending champ gets the title. Hear that, boys? It's all about taking down the Baron. Our only real competition will be Mugshot himself. We need to remove him from the competition. Here's the plan. I'll challenge him to a fist fight out in the town square. Sly, you find and lure Inspector Fox to the same place. When the two meet, the sparks are sure to fly. With some luck, the big guy will get carted off to jail, and we'll have clear skies for the finals. However, the Baron won't be so easy to deal with. He commands an enormous team of flyers and has been known to bring in a squad of blimp gunships when things look grim. The answer to our problem isn't obvious, although it is potent. Behold, Lupus Gigantormus. I'll drug the beast so that the Guru will be able to ride it and take out some of the local guards, who also serve as the Baron's pilots. Obviously, the fewer enemy pilots Sly has to deal with in the finals, the better. Next, I'll hack into the aircraft control tower. If successful, I'll be able to intercept any messages the Baron might send to his gunships. All right, team, we've got all night to prepare. If we take this thing, it'll mean more than a trophy. Penelope is sure to join our gang. After her stellar work defending our hangar, I'm sure we'd all agree that she's a prime recruit.
We also get a somewhat second mini antagonist in the build of all of this, and he is actually another returning character called Mugshot, the dog from the second world in the first game who walked on his fist. Well, apparently he is one of the top flying aces for his team, so we have to take care of him as well. Just wanted to mention that little cameo. We make it to the tournament finals. Along the way, suspicions grow. Penelope is hesitant to abandon her tie to the Baron, and as we do missions to set up this final confrontation with the Baron, Bentley seems to notice. One mission here is the use of Carmelita as a third party in order to take down and arrest Mugshot in order to eliminate him from the competition entirely. It's always fun to get to control Inspector Fox.
Thanks to our combined efforts, we're now ready for the final round of the Aces dogfighting competition. Put on your helmets, because it's time for Operation Turbo Dominant Eagle. In just a few hours, Team Iceland and Team Belgium will begin fighting it out in the B-Champs round. This will provide the perfect cover for step one of my plan. Sly, use the catapult and your paraglider to get access to the local gunships. Plant some tracking devices, then head back to the team hangar and suit up for the finals. Murray, you're up next. Use your rowboat to pull down the aircraft communication antenna. With it out of commission, the Baron will have to use an unscrambled radio frequency to call in the gunships for backup. If that happens, I'll be ready with our secret weapon. And with the tracking devices installed, I'm guaranteed not to miss. In the end, though, it'll be up to Sly. This is a sudden death competition. The first team to take out last year's champ wins. That's if the Black Baron doesn't take out all the competition first.
In the climactic finale, the gang launches a major strike on the Baron's airbase. Sly battles in the skies while Murray and the rest handle the ground operations. At the end, Sly confronts the Baron in a final duel aboard their planes, and then an actual duel on the wing of a plane. Eventually, the truth is revealed. Penelope was actually masquerading as the Black Baron in order to bypass the competition's age restrictions, which then after our victory, Penelope then sheds the disguise and officially joins the Cooper gang. She begins contributing her RC piloting and mechanical skills, solidifying her place in the team's lineup.
It was quite a revelation. Penelope and the Black Baron were one and the same. But before we could even process this turn of events, we were rushed to the winner's circle. Somehow, against all odds, we become this year's champions. There was a bit of an awkward moment between Bentley and Penelope. I guess the photos they'd sent each other over the internet were a bit exaggerated. That night, Penelope explained that the disguise was invented to get her past the Dogfighting League's strict age requirements. However, after winning, the Baron became a celebrity, and she found herself putting on the costume more and more often. But now, with the Black Baron out of the picture, she was free to take up a new path, and she joined the gang without hesitation. The next day, our newest recruit treated us to a week-long aerial tour of Holland. She was fitting in just fine.
So the next country we stop at is actually China. The Cooper gang travels deep into the snowy Kunlun Mountains for one of the most personal missions in the entire series. Bentley's latest recruit idea actually shocks everyone. He wants to recruit the Panda King.
After a careful analysis of Dr. M's fortress, Bentley came to the difficult conclusion that his demolition skills just weren't going to be enough. If we wanted to get inside the Cooper vault, we'd have to recruit a full-time demolition specialist. However, Bentley's proposed candidate was a shock. My old enemy, the Panda King. As a member of the original Fiendish Five, he had a part in taking out my dad and stealing pages from the Thieves Raccoonus. Eventually, I caught up with him, and I claimed back what he had stolen. There was no way I was gonna let that monster on my team, but Bentley was firm. He discovered the Panda King had left his life of crime and was now a monk living the life of quiet meditation high up in the mountains. I wasn't at all convinced, but there was no denying that he had the skills we needed if we were to succeed. So the gang packed up, put on our disguises, and headed east to China.
Once a ruthless member of the Fiendish Five and one of the men responsible for the death of Sly's father, he's now living in exile, having turned away from his criminal past. But with Dr. M's island fortress looming ahead, the team needs someone with serious demolition experience. Still, for Sly, this alliance hits a little close to home. Upon arrival, the gang finds the Panda King meditating in solitude in a serene, calm, and distant environment. We use all the crew's abilities we know so far to reach where the Panda King meditates. Sly enters the Panda King's consciousness via the Guru's powers to confront the rage and guilt still lingering within him in a quick boss fight that mirrors the one from the first game.
The Panda King wasn't any more excited about the notion of him joining the gang than I was. If it weren't for the Guru, who for some reason really hit it off with the old guy, the whole deal would have been a bust. We could see the anger in the Panda King's eyes as he recounted how he lost a member of his own family. A daughter who was abducted by a powerful general from the northern mountains. She was to be the bride in a forced marriage to this unscrupulous ruler, and Panda King was exiled. We agreed to help him recover his lost daughter in exchange for his skills in the Cooper Vault job. I still wasn't convinced this was a good idea, but a deal's a deal.
He refuses to join them at first, burdened by the guilt and shame from his past. is the fact that his daughter Jing King has been kidnapped by a tyrant named General Sao. General Sao Chicken?
We all know that our objective here is to retrieve the Panda King's daughter, Jing King. She's being kept against her will by this man, General Sao. A real peach, this guy. During surveillance, I actually witnessed him kick a puppy. Twice! He plans on forcing Jing King to marry him next Saturday. Clearly, time is of the essence. Here's the plan. First, I'll approach Sao in disguise and attempt to get hired as his wedding planner. Hopefully, with a man on the inside, we'll get some news on Jing King. Still, we need more information. Two of us will need to work together to steal a pair of twin keys and break into Sao's house of business. Once inside, I'll need to utilize some new technology to circumvent their ultra-tight security. Finally, thanks to Penelope's air sweeps, we've picked up an unusual radio signature out in the water. Someone will need to go eyeball the anomaly and figure out what it is. We can't leave anything up to chance here, or Jing King lives unhappily ever after.
The setting here feels distinct. Frozen peaks, glowing lanterns, and a thick atmosphere of tension. It's a world caught between peace and vengeance. While the gang's missions are technically about sabotage and infiltration, there's an emotional undercurrent running through everything. Redemption, forgiveness, and facing the ghosts of the past. To get close to Sao, the gang infiltrates his territory in disguise. Bentley poses as a wedding planner to gather intel. Murray comes across the long-lost team van and plans to retrieve it, adding some much-needed muscle back to the lineup, and of course Penelope supports from afar, coordinating the gang's moves with their RC gadgets. Not everything goes as planned though.
The operation is running smoothly. With access to General Sao's database and Sly successfully hired on as the wedding photographer, we are ready to make an attempt for Jing King. Given the complexity of Sao's downloaded data, I've programmed my ThiefNet computer to automatically analyze the... What the... General Sao! He's got my computer! Our whole plan is on that computer! How'd he find us? We're doomed!
Bentley, calm down. I need you sharp. Listen up, team. This Sao character is more clever than any of us thought. As of this moment, we have one goal. Steal back the ThiefNet computer. The time for subtlety is over. Bentley, break into the palace and ransack his personal computer. He might have linked it to ours. If so, that's where we'll start. The rest of the team will stand ready. No telling where this might take us.
Bentley's laptop is stolen by General Sao mid-mission, forcing an elaborate recovery operation. Meanwhile, the Panda King's inner turmoil reaches a breaking point. As Sly, we end up in General Sao's sacred family arena, where we then proceed to battle him. This kind of boss battle would normally be at the end of a stage like this, but I like that they are changing it a bit so it isn't so rinse and repeat from the previous games and worlds. This arena allows us to double jump and glide through the air, making this a battle where looking away for 1 second will give you the disadvantage. In the second phase of this battle, we knock him down to the ground level and have to dodge, climb, and attack through this bamboo forest. We win, but General Sao then flees.
Thankfully, we've managed to retrieve the ThiefNet computer. However, all the plans stored inside are now compromised. The wedding is still on. Jing King remains Sao's prisoner. Yes, we are going to free her, but that's not enough. No, for this heist, we really need to put the screws to this guy. He's earned it. So, we're cleaning out his treasury as well. A feat impossible without Murray's van. Unfortunately, all that time in the ice has ruined its polycellular battery. I'll need Sly's help to acquire a new one, which won't be easy, as the General's gone all out with security. He's even resorted to black magic dragons and hopping vampires patrolling the streets. We'll need to even the odds before the wedding. Sly, you and the Panda King will work to gather some fireworks and blow up the vampire's crypt. No crypt, no more vampires.
Murray provides backup and running distraction missions to keep security occupied while Bentley manipulates what little equipment he still controls. These missions are quieter, more methodical, and a return to pure stealth, echoing the second game's tone. Meanwhile, the Panda King continues to wrestle with his past, despite agreeing to help. His guilt and anger start clouding his focus. Bentley worries he might lose control at the worst possible moment. All this builds up to the grand finale of this stage.
Time to free Jing King, rob General Sal blind, and send him up the river. I call it Operation Wedding Crasher. This will be a multi-pronged job, with two groups working simultaneously. I'm sure I don't need to stress the importance of the schedule to anyone. First, Sly, Penelope, and Murray will make their way past all the security in Sal's treasure temple, and then drop the goods off to me for loading into the van. Meanwhile, the Panda King and Guru will tunnel beneath the palace, creating an escape route for Jing King. Sly, you'll have to pull double duty, taking care of any topside security designed to detect subterranean assaults. Once you guys are done, I'll use my grapple cam to lure Inspector Fox into the palace, where we'll try to get her to take Jing King's place. Then, with the girl and loot in hand, we run for it.
The Cooper gang launches a synchronized assault on Sal's mountaintop palace during the wedding ceremony. Penelope's RC disrupt the defenses. Murray tunnels beneath the walls to get to Jing King. Sly sneaks into the palace while not setting off any alarms, and Bentley lures Carmelita over to the wedding. The Panda King himself goes through the tunnels rescuing his daughter Jing King. We destroyed Sal's family temple and then have to rescue Penelope from the grasps of a dragon that Sal somehow managed to summon. In a twist of fate, Carmelita Fox arrives at the wedding intending to arrest Sly, but instead she ends up disguised as the bride. Jing King is finally freed, and the Panda King now pledges his loyalty to the Cooper gang, for now.
General Sal had his wedding right on schedule. Everything was as he'd arranged, except the bride came as kind of a shock. Carmelita was a little disappointed it wasn't me she busted at the altar, although I doubt she minded taking Sal into custody. He did, after all, plague the streets with the undead. From what I hear, the locals were happy to see him go. We dropped off Jing King with her aunt. The Panda King insisted that she'd be safe there and that he needed to pay off his debt to the gang. I was still wary, but there was no denying that his skills would come in handy. Needless to say, we lived it up in the back streets of Shanghai. What kind of gang of thieves would we be if we passed up on recreation like that?
Alright, the next stop we get to, Bloodbath Bay. The Cooper gang sets sail for the high seas in search of treasure, answers, and one last key ally.
We got the message late one Saturday night. Dimitri was calling in the favor I promised him back in Holland. He gone ahead and booked the whole team passage under assumed identities to none other than Bloodbath Bay. Easily the most lawless town on Earth. It's home to a group of cultural hermits who doggedly maintain the ways of their pirate forefathers. The cruise over gave us some time to get the rundown from Dimitri. I guess his grandfather, Remy Lestow, was a pioneer in deep-sea diving. He'd made a fortune looting undersea wrecks. Although his luck ran short when a young cutthroat by the name of Black Spot Pete stole not only his loot, but his precious diving gear as well. A broken man, Remy retired from treasure hunting and eventually started a family. Dimitri, growing up on his grandfather's stories, dreamed of one day recovering the gear. So that was our task. We've been called in to get our hands on this miraculous diving equipment. Not all bad, really. If things go our way, the team might get a frogman out of the deal, which Bentley figures will be a big help cracking the Cooper vault. That Bentley, always thinking.
Besides helping Dimitri, it is rumored that the legendary pirate captain known as Black Spot Pete knows the whereabouts of one of the final Cooper Vault clues. But with Dr. M tightening his grip on the world's underbelly and Carmelita still chasing their trail, things are about to get messy. The setting is a complete tonal shift from China's solemn mountain peaks. Now it's all golden sands, wooden docks, and open ocean stretching as far as the eye can see. A pirate world through and through. Ships creak in the distance, thunder rolls, and the gang trades their stealth gear for spy glasses and cutlasses. The mission structure here feels looser and more chaotic, echoing the wild unpredictability of the pirate life. The episode kicks off with Sly and Penelope going undercover as treasure hunters, infiltrating the pirate ranks to earn their trust and learn what Black Spot Pete knows.
Thanks to Black Spot Pete, we've got a lead on Regulus Stowe's treasure. It's buried somewhere on Dagger Island, a landmass many leagues from our current position. To make the voyage, we'll need to steal a pirate ship from the harbor. No easy feat given the cutthroat nature of the cutthroats. First, Murray and Sly will steal a jolly boat and blast the rudders off any ships that could chase us out into the open ocean. The action is sure to provoke the harbor patrol, so be prepared for a sea battle. With them out of the way, no one can stop us from leaving harbor. Meanwhile, Penelope and I will work together to break into Lafui's keep and steal the map to the buried treasure. Once both objectives are reached, we'll steal a ship and set sail for Dagger Island. Then it'll be a simple matter of following the map and digging up the loot.
Bentley and Penelope end up breaking into this Lafui's hideout and find the treasure map for Dagger Island. As Bentley goes back to the hideout to go get Penelope's tools though, a trap temporarily blinds Penelope even though she got the map. Meanwhile, Sly and Murray disable the pirate ships docked on a harbor so none give chase when they go for the treasure. We then proceed to steal ourselves a pirate ship where we head for Dagger Island. We control the ship on the way there, avoiding obstacles and sometimes giving us one of the most unique gameplay shifts in the series, naval combat. Once we arrive, we use the map and its clues in order to find exactly where the X marks the spot, all while fighting enemies and trying to sneak through the entirety of the island. We find Dimitri's special scuba gear he asked us to find for him, where then Lafui interrupts.
And I trust you still plan on logging back to your ship. Away with ye. Now!
Clearly, the only goal at this point is saving our teammate and friend, Penelope. Lafui's ship, the Death's Head, has sailed back to Bloodbath Bay with her on board as captain. Things look grim. There's no way we'll be able to sneak into the harbor. Even the backside of the island is inaccessible due to reefs. To put it plainly, we're in for a fight. Lafui is an intelligent opponent, and we'll need to do everything in our power to stack the odds in our favor. First, we'll put Dimitri's new diving gear to use by salvaging some weapons from a nearby shipwreck. We'll need the extra firepower to deal any kind of damage to the armor-enforced Death's Head. It'll also come in handy for our second objective, destroying the Red Sail Sea Dog plan. They're a fleet of mercenaries on Lafui's books. We need to surprise them now while they hunt for us in small groups. If they ever attacked in unison, there's no way we'd make it out alive. And finally, we'll set sail for the misty waters inhabited by a sea monster the pirates called Crusher. Reports on Crusher are sketchy, but we might learn something by analyzing its technique. I know for a fact that all of Lafui's men fear it. An impressive and useful trait, given our current situation.
This section of the world, we are only on open waters. Bloodbath Bay is on lockdown, so we have no choice but to make our way back in with some well thought out, strategized missions coordinated by Bentley. As Dimitri, we dive underwater collecting collars. As a crew, we take out Lafui's mercenaries and more naval combat, and even fighting a giant sea kraken as the Panda King and Sly, with the Gulu controlling its mind afterwards, giving us more of an advantage. Everything builds towards the final operation, the climactic showdown of the episode.
Operation Reverse Double Cross. Our goal, as we all know, is to save Penelope. Given her crafty nature, Lafui has undoubtedly locked her up in one of his most secure locations. They are 1. The Skull Keep, and 2, the brig of the Death's Head. Our team is too small to assault both simultaneously, so we'll have to fall back on a little sleight of hand. First, we sail in and exchange broadsides with the Death's Head. Armed with the element of surprise and our cannon upgrades, it should be a fair fight. But remember, Penelope might be on board, so we cannot sink this ship. Once the masts fall, Sly should jump onto the enemy vessel and then promptly surrender. A necessary step for 2 reasons. First, that boat is packed with pirates, way too many to fight hand-to-hand. And second, it's the best way to get an audience with Lafouille. Given his smug nature, he's sure to brag where she's hidden if we can get him angry enough. Got that, Sly? Irritate the daylights out of this guy. It's our best and only chance to rescue Penelope. Once he talks, we roll out plan A or B, depending on the situation. This Lafouille is a smart man. Our only hope is to outsmart him at his own game.
The Cooper gang launches a daring assault on Lafouille's army on the bay. Sly mans the cannons in a full-scale ship battle and sneaks onto Lafouille's ship, confronting him and finding out where Penelope is being held. We then go rescue her and run into a trap, while Bentley now controls our ship and we lure Lafouille out to sea to the Kraken's location. Now as the Guru controlling the giant sea monster, we protect Bentley as he unlocks the location of the real Penelope. Bentley is knocked out of his chair, where then Penelope faces off with Lafouille in a sword fight high up on the ship's mast. We defeat Lafouille, and Dimitri now is a new member of our group.
Lafouille was beat, outsmarted by our own resident genius, who'd done more than just rescue a team member. He'd won himself a girlfriend. It was nice to hear him talk. They'd have these conversations the rest of us couldn't even follow. As far as I could tell, they were made for each other. Dimitri was in love too. The new diving gear had gone to his head. We were informed that he'd be our frogman for the Cooper Vault job. Not that any of us had even asked him. For the first time in memory, Carmelita didn't show up and cart everyone to jail. Oh well, I'll send her a postcard. You know, I'd hate to have her feel left out.
This final episode picks up exactly where we left off during the prologue, on Kaine Island.
All these memories, they just bring me back to the same place. Getting crushed to death in the fist of some genetics experiment gone wrong. Not the way I thought I'd go out. Shame, really. Now that we've got this big gang, more like a pack of misfits. Either way, we'd become a team. We had some real potential there. Could have pulled off some big jobs. We were so close. The door to the Cooper Vault was opening. But that Dr. M, if there's any justice, he'll get his. I just wish I'd seen what was in there. A stockpile of my family's accomplishments. Would I have measured up? What would I contribute? Would my father have been proud of me or ashamed? Funny, but here I am at the end, and suddenly all I can think about is what a coward I've been towards Carmelita. I never took the next step. Looking at Bentley and Penelope, it's clear what life is about. If Carmelita was here, I'd tell her straight out how I feel, and quit playing around. Put our professional differences aside and see if we can make it work. But that'll never happen now. I can't take this crushing. Just let the pain stop.
The Cooper gang is taking the fight right to Dr. M's doorstep for the grand finale. One last score. and the biggest heist in Cooper history. The atmosphere shifts once again. Gone are the sunny seas and pirate banter of Bloodbath Bay. Kaine Island is a dark, storm-swept, and crawling with defenses. Electric storms flash across the skies, waves crash against metal fortifications, and the shadow of the Cooper Vault looms ominously over the ocean. Every step forward feels like a battle against both time and the past itself. We immediately get control as Carmelita, as she has come doing her regular try to arrest bad guys shtick, but now we use her as a way of helping free Sly from the grasp of that giant monster thing. I don't think we actually ever learn what kind of creature it is exactly, but there you go, I looked it up. We then get a cutscene of Dr. M and Carmelita's confrontation.
You harpy witch! Why are the police invading my home?
I'm here to see that justice is done.
Justice? I'm the victim here, defending what's mine from thieves!
Looked to me like you were attempting to murder that man.
That man, please, you know this is Sly Cooper. You're as transparent as you are narrow-minded.
Cooper is a criminal. I'm here to bring him and all lawbreakers to justice.
I'm no lawbreaker. It was all self-defense.
First things first. Put Cooper down and we'll talk terms.
Sorry, Madam Cop, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. Although I can throw you a long, long way. Go and smash that woman. Crush her bones to paste and toss her in the sea where no one will ever find her.
Bentley, now in command, coordinates an all-out assault from the Cooper ship. Each team member plays their part. Penelope hacks security drones with her RC. The Guru uses his mystic abilities to control the island's wildlife, and Dimitri dives under the waves and fights a mutated anglerfish in order to retrieve Sly's Kaine that was launched into the water earlier. Remember, the Kaine is the key, so that's important. Every mission feels like a culmination of the group's growth. Strategy, power, and teamwork all firing at once.
Oh boy, here comes the big guns. And by guns, I mean a giant flying whale dragonfly thing covered in robotic junk. Wait, Dr. M is plugged into that monstrosity.
Ah, the Cooper is skyward. So good, so nice. Tiny felt what it's like to play second fiddle. I am the master here. Sidekick no more.
We shoot at Dr. M's whale mech airship while having to dodge a good amount of obstacles, where we then jump out and land on the ship in order to confront him directly.
You don't know anything about me or my father.
Really? Well, who let you in on the secret of this place, eh? Was it my old pal McSweeney, perhaps?
Sweeney works for you? This was all a setup to get the Kaine.
No, my boy. Once upon a time, he and I worked together for your dear old dad.
My father wouldn't have run with a guy who tried to steal from the Cooper Vault, let alone attempt to kill his son.
Time does strange things to people. Just look at the real leader of your gang, Bentley.
Whatever. We're friends. Equals.
Then why is it called the Cooper Gang, you self-centered egomaniac?
That's enough. Time to meet the past. Bentley, you there?
Yeah, pal?
I'm about to head inside the vault, and I want you and Murray to come with me. We're a team, a family. We should do this together.
His grudge runs deep though, rooted in betrayal from his time alongside Sly's father. To him, the Cooper Vault isn't just a treasure hoard, it's proof of a legacy he was denied. His goal isn't riches, it's vindication. Panda King strapped fireworks to the van so the van could also propel itself directly inside the vault. When the vault finally opens, it isn't only gold that awaits inside, but history, carvings, heirlooms, booby traps, relics from generations of Cooper's past, and terrain only a Cooper could get through. It's a museum of legacy, not greed. Here's some of Sly's ancestors.
This place was started by Slight and Common II. He built his fortune in the employ of the great pharaohs. That must have been around 1300 BC. Sir Gallup of the Knights of the Cooper Order. Honorable knight and cunning thief. Salim al-Qafar of Arabia. It was said that he had the stealth of 40 thieves. The strongest of the Cooper clan, Slay McCooper, could break any lock with a single blow. The Ninja Spire landing was perfected in feudal Japan by Ryoichi Cooper. Henriette One-Eye Cooper sailed the seas and stole from pirates. Guess I really took out the birth. Tennessee Kid Cooper learned to slide along railroad tracks in the Old West. Victorian-era London was the stomping grounds for the most gentlemanly thief, Thaddeus Winslow Cooper. Besides being a thief, Otto von Cooper was a great fighter ace and mechanic. This must be my father's work. How am I supposed to get through this thing? He made this challenge for a move I've never learned. There's nothing like this in the Thievius Raccoonus. Come on, Dad. Help me out here.
To the inner sanctum where Bentley, yes, Bentley, confronts Dr. M.
Then lock horns with me. Think you'll find I'm a better match.
I have no fight with you, Bentley. You and I are the same.
I gather you were the technical specialist working with Sly's father?
You knew Sly's dad?
Quiet, caveman. The adults are talking. That's right, Bentley. I know the pain you suffer working under your inferior.
It's no secret I'm smarter than the other guys. But there's more to it than that.
Like what?
Like brotherhood.
Brotherhood? That's just what he wants you to think. It's a tool to keep you in line.
No, that's the thing that keeps us happy and alive. It's why I'm going to stop you.
And me too.
Fine, Koopa Gang. I tried.
Caveman attack!
As a duo, Bentley and Murray get Dr. M weak by using the inner vault security system in order to damage him. But Dr. M's rage boils over, and in the chaos that follows, the island begins to crumble. Sly ends up fighting Dr. M head on while he uses machines and lasers in order to try to get at us. We now fight Dr. M as Carmelita after Sly took a shot for her.
Hold it right there. Both of you thieves are going to jail.
Nice to see you, gorgeous.
You too.
Oh, a love interest. I might be beaten, but I'll make you suffer.
Not her!
No one hurt my criminal.
It's a multi-stage boss fight, of course, so I should not be surprised, but the way the events unfolded were really innovative and fresh for the time. As Carmelita, we knocked out Dr. M and get this somewhat wholesome of a cutscene.
What happened?
Sly?
Where are we? What is this place?
Sly, can you remember anything?
No. Who are you? You look familiar.
I'm Inspector Carmelita Montoya Fox.
And who am I?
You're my partner, Constable Cooper.
Well, partner, we'd better get out of here. The ceiling's gonna go. Haven't got much time.
Let's go.
Which then afterwards, Bentley tells us the aftermaths of what has just occurred.
We watched as Dr. M just stood there, unwilling to leave as the walls caved in on the vault. He'd spent his life lusting over the Cooper fortune, and he wasn't going to give it up, no matter what the cost. Our exit was a little rough, but Murray managed to get us out just in time to witness the final fate of the Cooper legacy. It was a bittersweet moment. The end of the road always is. We both looked on, lost in our thoughts, thinking back on all the adventures that had brought us here. The people we'd met and places we'd seen. We'd worked for a long time to get Sly into that great vault, and now its secrets were hidden again, this time for good. I could only hope that he'd found what he was looking for in there. We searched every inch of the island for Sly, retrieving the gang one by one, only to make the surprising discovery that he didn't want to be found. As always, he'd left a calling card, Only this time, it was worth millions. The months rolled by, and when Sly still hadn't shown up, Murray headed back east to complete his training with the Guru. Without Sly as our leader, for the first time we each had to step out on our own. A difficult thing. We'd been together ever since we met at the orphanage. To this day, Murray and I are still close. Recently, he's been trying to break into the pro racing circuit, stock van class. Things are looking good. He's got a unique talent for living through crashes other people would have found fatal. Just always bounces clear. And of course, there's Penelope, my new partner in crime. Let me tell you, I'm in love. She and I have set out on a journey that I never would have dreamed up while running with Sly and Murray, although I hope our paths will cross again soon. So while this might be the end of our adventures together, it could be the start of something even bigger. Time will tell. Literally. 'Cause I'm building a time machine to find out. Dimitri went on to become a celebrity skin diver. The ladies flocked to him, and so did the money. I got a postcard from him once. It said, "I'm here, wish you were fine." Like me. He's his own man. The Panda King returned to China and lived a happy life living 2 doors down from his beloved daughter. She, of course, was pleased to have him screen all of her future suitors. As of yet, she's still unmarried. The Guru returned to the Outback and took on some new Dreamtime students. One of which was a high-profile rock star that brought a lot of unwanted media attention. Last I heard, he was hiding out in New York City. Figured it was the last place they'd ever look. That sneaky devil.
So before I say my closing thoughts, I just wanted to point out the fact that this game is a single player game, but it is the only one of the original 3 that has mini games in the main menu that are co-op. Quite honestly, I'm not sure how many people played the co-op modes. They were just mini events from the main story that are team oriented so that they were able to convert these games into co-op for you and a friend. These games are Cops and Robbers, a biplane duel, Hackathon, and Galleon duel. Each mode perfect for 2 people who love the Sly Cooper franchise. Honor Among Thieves is actually downloadable on the PS5 right now, where you and your friend can even play it on modern consoles. So I'm showing here at the end an extra piece of like 2D cutscene footage, which it unlocks in 2 pieces, right? And it's like extra footage for fans that happen to actually play the game. You unlock the first part after completing an Opera of Fear, and you also get the second part after doing a future mission, a few missions after that one in like the 2nd or 3rd episode. I don't recall exactly. But yeah, there's no voiceovers in them, so I'm gonna let those little 2-parters play out, then I'm gonna do my outro. This is the real Sly Cooper. Sly Thievius Raccoonus Silverfang Cooper. Yeah. He's a long boy. Look at me, a long boy. Yeah. That's the real Sly Cooper though. No BS. Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves was the perfect send-off to one of the PlayStation 2's most charming trilogies. It expanded on everything that came before, the storytelling, the team dynamic, and even the variety in gameplay. Each stage had its own tone and theme, from opera houses to pirate ships, from mystic temples to high-tech fortresses, and even though not every experiment landed perfectly, like the RC's mechanics and or the biplane dogfighting, the creativity was undeniably there. The emotional weight though is what really sticks. Watching these characters grow from simple cartoon thieves into a genuine family of misfits was something special. The ending leaves things open but heartfelt. Sly gets his peace, Bentley finds love, and the legacy of the Cooper clan continues. For many of us, this game marked the end of PlayStation 2 era platformers. It was Sucker Punch at the top of their game, closing the Cooper story with style and heart. I have been Retro here at Retro Retrospective. Thank you all for watching and making it to the end of another deep dive into one of my favorite classic games. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the breakdown, and stay tuned because the next retrospective coming up will be Mafia 2. Until next time.